will like, if I'm permitted, I would like to introduce to us the next speaker, which will be Professor DrTPS Sasikuma. So let me introduce our ambassador, our professor to you. I am blessed. I am fully blessed to have this professor as my own personal mentor. Ever since I've met him, or ever since I've been connected with him, he doesn't say too much to me, but I learn from his videos, from his lifestyle. I followed him, I listened to his videos. In fact, he even committed by sending it to me so I don't miss out. I learned a lot. Yes, sometimes I don't understand the language, but I've been privileged because he also interprets some of it into English. So that makes me not to really miss out anything of his teaching. So we are talking about the same Professor Sashikuma. He's the space scientific educationist, spiritual director, motivational speaker, author of Life of Love, Realms of Life, and Life That Made Simple, which I really want to. I'm still hoping to read that book very soon. It's one of my top priorities to start reading more than before, because as a leader, we also have to be a learner and a reader. So he is the deputy director of Directorate. Let me see properly. Sorry, I hope you can see. He is the Directorate General of Security, Cabinet Secretariat, Government of India, New Delhi, which I'm looking forward to visit very soon. He's also the director of UGC, Academic Staff College, Calicut University, Kerala. He's also at Advanced Data Processing Research Institute, Program Planning, Program Management, ISRO HQ, Bangalore, and also Space Application Center. Is the professor and HOD of Business Administration, AEC, JNTUH, and others like that. So he's also have I think he will pronounce that properly for me, Saskisa Life Learning Residential Camp, which I believe is a great place for every one of us to learn more about philosophy, wisdom, and every other thing that Professor DrTPS Sasikuma stands for. So allow me or permit me to introduce to this platform my own mentor, Professor TPS Sasikuma, and his own topic is Learn to Learn Part 2. So thank you for coming.
Namaskaram. I was enjoying my sister Queen Elizabeth reading my profile.
I'm trying.
Yeah. SHIKSHA. 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 Shiksha in Indian language means learning and teaching. Shikshak means a teacher. It's a Hindi word. The most spoken language in India. I must congratulate Yes You Can International all over the globe. I think Many people are connected through UK to the rest of the world. Special sessions, general sessions, special sessions with the leaders called the master class. Thinking and dialoguing on probably what is most important in life. Initiated and hosted by my sister Elizabeth. I'm so happy. I was just listening to Pastor Nelson. I could speak hours together on this topic, prayer, because the whole Bhagavad Gita has got 3 portions. One is on action, another one is on dhyanam, which is not prayer, which is much deeper in prayer. Prayer is like a request to, in India also many people keep using the word Lord, God for understanding Ishvara, the Bhagavan, the source of energy, which is only a poor English language, because spiritually to understand the source of energy, these words cannot be used, because maybe I cannot ask questions to my senior people, but I can ask question, or I can ask an open question. Don't Google. What is the feminine word for Lord? Lord, Lord. I don't want UK to answer, because UK it's a very common word used. I'll tell you, most of the Asian people don't understand the feminine word for Lord, because it's not used that commonly. So it's only anybody? Prashanti, can you say what is the feminine word for Lord? Because you were doing the prayer. Tell me, my lady. The Lord feminine is lady. It's a very common word which you can address anybody, any female. So Lord is also like that only. There is nothing great about Lord. But Lord is higher when you want to give petition, when you want to give complaint, when you want. See, when you look at the word very carefully, understand the inner meaning, that is learning. You just hear it many times, but you don't look at it, you don't learn, because from childhood you are hearing the same word. You are never. It's very easy today to find out the meanings of words, right? I'm so happy when Pastor was mentioning about the meaning of prayer, because most of the people don't even look at the meaning of prayer. But the prayer what is mentioned by Jesus is different from what is the prayer in the original Hebrew which is mentioned. I had great friends with whom I used to travel, where they were Hebrew experts. So the advantage of not knowing a language is you will start asking questions. See, Shiksha many people may not understand. But because my sister Elizabeth could not read Shiksha, I had a chance to explain what is Shiksha. I'm so glad, Then now you will remember. Now because of that, many people who must have used that word many times will remember, oh, this is the meaning. So it is always easier to teach somebody who do not know. If somebody thinks that they know, it is very hard to teach them. And I will tell you why my trust is called Shiksha. S-H-I-K-S-H, Shiksha. I hardly see probably only Queen Elizabeth uses pencil and pen to write. Rest of the people only hearsay you say, right? So my spelling of my name is S-A-S-I, right? Shashi Kumar. Shashi is one name, Kumar is another name. Put together is Shashi Kumar. But that is in South India. Simplest spelling is SASI. But if you go to another part of India, same name, they will not spell it as SASI. They complicate it by adding SHA, SHI. Because some of the Indian language doesn't have an English pronunciation equivalent to that. So if you want to pronounce it, what do you write? SHA, SHI. And name Kumar, Kumar. So the Kumar name, if you shorten, it becomes K. You take the last part of my name, Shah, SHA, and put SHI, Shiksha, it becomes Shiksha. So my trust is also called by my name, SHA, SHI. Shiksha, SHI, SHA, K, Shiksha. Altogether becomes my trust name also. So I myself represent here as a learner. I love to learn. When do you start learning? Today's prayer was again Prashanti. Why do you pray God? Prashanti cannot unmute or what?
We communicate whatever our problems to God. Not only our problems, but we are thankful that God has blessed.
Yeah, why to God? What is your relationship with God?
So with God, we are connected with the Spirit.
How? That connection is what I am asking. No. What is that? What do you have? The relationship is called what? You dash in God. What?
Connect.
That connection is what I am asking. Another word for that. No, most commonly used.
Relate. We relate to God.
How? How is that relation? What is that relation? What is that connection?
Okay.
Father
Who
and
is the
children.
creator?
Father and children.
That creation is a very higher word. You understand? That's what Elizabeth mentioned it as creation. But why do you pray if you ask a small child? What do you say? They don't say I creator and all that, right? They have starting with the F, starting with the B.
Father, whatever they want, they go and ask their Father.
No, don't you generally say I have faith in God, I believe in God? That is the common used word, right?
Yes.
Correct or not? I believe God. I have faith in God. Correct? Every one of us, I have faith in somebody. When I ask some help to somebody, I have faith in that person. He is going to respond, right?
Yes.
That faith is relationship. But if I am 100% sure that somebody is going to do a job for me, I don't keep faith. Much higher than faith is, I know she is going to do it for me. So knowing is higher than faith. You understood? Faith has got a doubt. Oh, will they do it or not? I am not very sure. I believed my request for some help will be entertained by my sister Elizabeth. That means I believe, but need not happen. I know that my request is going to be entertained, means I am 100% sure. So the starting of learning is belief and faith. My subject is learn to learn. I am connecting with what is spoken earlier. Religious beliefs, religious prayers, that's not my subject. My subject is learning. From the faith, you reach to an understanding through your experiments, through your practices, through your experience. I don't believe in God. Dr. TPS have no belief, no faith in God. Is a dumb, useless object for me. But I understand God. I know God. When I call, He will come, He will do it. I have no doubt. I have no faith that this is a pencil. You understood what I am saying? I don't believe that this is a pencil. I am a stupid, useless fellow if I think this is, I believe that this is a pencil. No, I don't believe. I know this is a pencil. You understood the transformation? Ask questions. Ask questions. Don't believe. Yukti. Yukti is logic. Yukti means logic. Stop. Anybody who blah 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 blah, stop him. Ask questions. Then what you get is knowledge. And that process is learning. Yukti yuktam upadeyam. You must listen. Yukti yuktam upadeyam. Through logic, you can question Ishvara, Bhagavan. A worst English translation for that is God. Murti, Sankalpa, Ishvara, Bhagavan, which is God for all of us. That is the concept of God. If somebody represents as God, ask him so many questions. Don't believe him. Question him. And prove that, yes. Don't believe teachers. Ask questions to teachers. Prove him he knows more than what you know. Don't listen to same stupid repetitions. Most of the prayers are repetitions. Is it not that you don't believe him? Keep on telling the same thing many times. Is it that he has not listened to you? Why do you want to repeat and waste time? It's waste of time. Prayers are waste of time. You have to progress from LKG to PG. In KG you study something, you repeat many times. Nursery rhymes. That's why it is called rhymes. You have to repeat many times. But even when you have a grown-up person in a PG level, you start repeating nursery rhymes. That means you have not learned. You are not improved. So understand, we are doing an educative program in which focus each word by word. Learn to learn. That's a mindset. If that mindset is very strong in you, there is no block, ready, no roadblock. There is no stoppage in your learning. You are like an entrepreneur. Learning is like an entrepreneur. What do they do? They start grabbing all opportunities. Entrepreneurship in learning. I am an entrepreneur in learning. So what do I do? Every opportunity which I get. Now today listening to the lecture, let me start my learn to learn. I must not have told this if my session before this was not prayers. So what you should do, don't just hear. Oh, somebody is talking, let me hear. You are not a learner. Focus. Most important, focus. I am totally focusing on this, what is being told. And I am connecting to what I learned in my childhood, moving with my brothers and sisters who are in church experts. We were landlords. My family were landlords. Many Christian churches, we have given land gifted to them to construct a church in my village. They used to come and stay with us. We are very open. We have to learn. Focus. When we converse, yet during my masters, when I was doing my MSc, exactly opposite to my hostel was church. So I used to go and sit in church for listening to prayers. Yes, not that without knowing you should know. How do you know? Repeat, but questions. Shraddha. In Bhagavad Gita it says, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. Only Shraddha means focus. Only those people who have Shraddha, focus, can be learners. Concentration, focus. The sunlight is coming. We keep a lens, convex lens, focus. Then that sunlight can burn a cigarette or maybe burn a paper. Only when you focus, the energy becomes extra potential. So what is important for all of us? Have got buddhi, intelligence is there, but focus is missing. Why are you people are not learning? Every time when I go to schools and colleges, everybody says, oh, I am not able to concentrate. I have no focus. Concentration is focus. The whole sunlight, sun rays falling in the convex lens is focused, concentrated in one point. Very important. F, focus. And how do you learn? When you focus, what will happen? I focused on the lecture, prayer. So I have lot of questions. If anybody can dialogue with me hours together, I can prove that no, the normal prayer is not the normal prayer. It is not complaint. It is not request. It has to be personal, it says Christ. Don't even make noise while praying. No combined group prayers. In Bharatiya Shastram also it says, yesterday was the end day of yoga program. Isabel was there. I was a speaker there. What is yoga? Joining. And what he said, it is you joining with God. It is dhyanam, going inside, not opening eyes, closing your eyes, look inside. Don't even see that who is sitting beside you. Then what will happen? You will start asking questions. You will have doubt. Ask questions. A. F. Focus. A. Ask questions. Who can guide you through this? You need mentors. You need coach. How can you learn? Your children were holding your finger to learn walking. In education, you need somebody who will hold your hands and teach you how to ask questions, how to focus. Two things only to be taught by teachers. Don't teach any subject knowledge. Don't give lectures. Teach them how to focus, how to ask questions. They will become learner by themselves. So whose job is this? Mentor. Who has to be that? Who has this practice of doing every day in his life? If I don't do, I cannot guide you. If I don't know how to walk, as a father, I cannot hold my son's hand to teach them how to walk. If I can walk, I can give hand to hold my hand to my son to make him to walk. So get one who has got this power of making you to focus and ask questions. And then F is over. Focus. A, ask questions. C, you need a coach. And the last one is take things in your fold. Hunt for things. Don't wait for somebody to come and give you. Take things, grab things. Identify everything around. Don't leave anything around you. Take it as yours. It's mine, it's not somebody else. Don't say that I don't care. This is not my subject. This is not my religion. This is not my relative. I don't require to know. Take it. It's yours. F-A-C-T, fact. I know some people will like this. That's why I made it into fact. Right? Easy to remember. Right? You have to focus, ask questions, coach, and you require take things into yours. How do you understand today a person? We have got lot of specializations. If you have a problem with eye, go to an eye doctor. If you have a problem with the nose, go to an ENT specialist. See, we have been partitioning the world, each one of us. But the whole body is one. You cannot see part by part and then diagnose and then find the problem. I keep saying if somebody has headache, you can ask your friend, why I am getting headache? If I am wearing a glass, immediately I will tell. Oh, did you not change your glass for last 6 months? Definitely it could be your eye problem. right? And if it is somebody who had a good alcohol the yesterday, will say, did you had some drinks? Yeah, that could be the problem. No. If somebody did not had a cup of coffee or tea, then say you did not had a cup of coffee or tea, that's why you have headache. And you will find lot of reasons. See, we do our own diagnosis many times with many people around us, because we don't have a good coach, good guide, good master who knows how to diagnose your problems. Who is a master who can understand not by part, spare part by spare part? He understands you as a totality. That's called Scientology. Scientology is yoga. Yoga is union. And don't understand people one by one separate. The whole Bhagavad Gita is to talk about not to understand by bit by bit, part by part. Understand as a total, as a physical entity, but not a physical entity in which there is an intellect, there is a feeling, and there is a Atma, spirituality. All this together is making us to work with all the Indriyas, all the sensory organs to understand the world. And the world is a mix of different components. And when I look at each component, I must understand what is each one of them. As a total, when I understand the whole universe, that becomes a spiritual knowledge. How do I represent myself in the society? I become a social being. So what is that totality? Physical, intellectual, emotional, social, and spiritual. That's why I call five-fold development. DrTPS always talks about only five-fold development. No spare part by spare part business. So what is learning? Use your Indriyas to look at the society, to understand your existence. In your intellect, process it. What is in your liking? And why this liking? Understand the reason. You get into a spiritual world. And that knowledge makes you to get into the supreme knowledge. We could talk about supreme personality. The topmost supreme personality is not God Lord, but Ishvara Sankalpa, Shakti Sankalpa, Swarupa, the supreme personality. The actual name for God or Bhagavan or Ishvara in English close translation could be supreme personality, not a lady, not a lord. Supreme personality. So my prayer is to the supreme personality. Who is supreme personality? All of us do personality development programs. That's a transformation we are looking for. That's a mindset we want. That is what we want. If everything is I can do it, I can do it, I can do it, yes, I can do it, yes, you can do it, that means we are the supreme personality. Who we will become? We will become the supreme personality. Who are we then? We are the God. Supreme personality. We all wanted to become super. Where did we reach super? Supreme. So the aim of all of us is to reach that level so that I can have a shake hand with him. And how do we reach there? Knowledge, nothing else. No blind prayers will take you to Bhagavan, Ishvara, Shakti, Swarupa. No blind prayers. Knowledge. Understand. Question. Evaluate. Transform yourself. Then you will see where is God. Anima, Mahima, Chaiva, Lekhima, Garima, Tata, Ishitvam cha Vashitvam cha Prapti Prakashyamevacha. He is there in the smallest of the smallest and the biggest of the biggest. Anima, Anima means Anu, Anu means atom. He is there in atom. Mahima, Mahima is the biggest of the biggest. The whole universe is one. Consciousness. That is what makes the earth to rotate. That is what the universe is running with, that energy. And same energy in the atom. Same electron moving around the proton in same speed as the planets are going around the sun. What is motivating it? That motivation is the energy, the source of energy, which is not created by anybody. It has created by itself. It has created by itself. Spontaneous. That's what the modern theory also says. Big Bang theory. There is an energy that blows and then that comes into particle form. The modern science, same thing. What we have in Bharatiya Shastra, the knowledge of India. India was not India because it was Pangea. One single unity, single island was the earth. Later moved into bits and pieces. That is what the geophysical movement says. So there is no partition, there is no different color, there is no different structure, different languages for all of us. We are all connected once upon a time. We got separated and start creating our own small worst islands. Once upon a time we were one island, Pangea. And we moved apart. So why do you want to move apart again and then create beliefs and faith and prayers and all that doesn't make any sense without asking questions? You want? Learn. Learn each bit of manifestation of your own image. Manifestation of your own image in a gigantic form, Mahima. And when you understand that, you also understand it is there in the smallest of the smallest, heaviest of the heaviest, lightest of the lightest. I can grab people, I also get grabbed by somebody else who is much knowledgeable than me. But I am not going to believe anybody if they cannot prove that they know much bigger than, higher than, better than me. Learn, ask questions. So when I say ask questions, if I don't permit asking questions, it's useless. So I can speak hours together like this. I don't want. Good enough. You have time to ask few questions, then I will be more glad than this.
Yes, we need to ask questions. Do you have any questions to ask? Because this is really important. I also am really learning because Dr. Professor of TPS really opened my eyes today. And I believe that it's the truth about everything. Because if we don't know ourselves, we cannot get the revelation. The revelation of what you have is what you can act on, not the revelation of others. And I believe when I understand Dr. TPS today, it's like for you to understand it. And I think that's our problem as a scholar. We want to depend on teacher to pour everything into us. We also want to depend on pastor to give us everything and to act on it. Whereas we need to understand it. And I like the way Professor TPS is teaching us. He's given us time so that we can respond by asking questions because we don't know it all. Well, I will start my own questions now. First thing first. So maybe by the time you answer me, other people also can ask questions because this is master class. It's not just another platform to come and speak. That is why we say when your mindset is renewed, when you get the better understanding of what you need to know, then there will be transformation. So how do we get the better understanding? By asking questions. But anyway, let me ask my own question first. Sir, can you explain, because things are really, which I don't understand. Can you tell me, can you explain to me more? Because I know you touch it, but I really want to know more about the difference between faith and belief.
What is faith? I believe this is a pencil. I don't say I have faith in pencil. I have faith in Sister Elizabeth that she is going to respond to. You had faith in me that Dr. TPS is going to respond. It is personal. It is to individuals, faith. But why do you have faith in Dr. TPS? Because you believe Dr. TPS knows the subject. So one is object and another one is subject. That is the difference. Very simple.
Okay.
Yeah. Best method to learn most of the thing is see where is it used. I was a teacher of English. So this is how I teach subject and object. Got it? Give examples. Very simple.
Okay. So for example, I can say something like, I have faith in God
Yeah.
because I believe
He is going to help me.
do it. He's going to help me.
Yeah.
Right.
See,
That
I
is
have
one
I have
question.
faith in my servant maid, or I have faith in my sister, and my sister kept water for me, so I believe water is there inside. Right?
Okay. So, and then when you talk about knowing, sorry, I want everybody to, that's me. I need to understand.
Always welcome. If you are near me, I will give you a hug and say I love you. I love
When you talk
questions.
about-
I love only questions. Quest is the root word. Quest. If you have quest inside, questions will come. And if you have no quest inside, you can never learn. You are only hearing. No use. You are not even listening. You listen. The hear becomes, sound becomes learning, knowledge acquiring process. Yeah.
Okay. I want to get a better understanding of this knowing. Could it be that, let me put it in a relationship way. When you say you have faith in your husband and you believe he can do it, and I think another level is knowing. So can you explain more about how do you know?
See, you have the data. How much is the income? How much is the expenditure? How much is the salary being paid? How much is the items which are purchased in the company? You are running a business. You know every data. Because somebody will collect all these informations and give you in a chart. So the data, when you analyze, that becomes information to you. So if you want to write, you write data, put an arrow mark. Above the arrow, you write analyze. And what you get is information. And what do you do with information? Information is useless for you. You can only tell somebody else, this is my revenue, this is my expenditure, this is the bank balance. So what? How are you going to use this information to expand your business? Apply that information for a purpose. Got it? So that information, when you apply, what will become? That becomes knowledge for you. You know what to do with the balance money. What do you say? I have information, this is my balance. That information is not good enough. I know. That is where knowledge comes. A practical application of information becomes knowledge. You understood very clearly now. Now,
Yes.
from information, put an arrow. Application. That becomes knowledge. Now, that application can be for bad and good things. In Western science, there is only knowledge. But in Eastern science, where I am from, we have different knowledge, not one knowledge, which is called Savidya, Avidya, which is good knowledge and bad knowledge. Assume that money you are using for making a bomb, right? Or maybe to invest in somewhere where it is not a playing and making money in the club. Maybe that information, that knowledge is not a good knowledge for you sometime. That can cheat you, that can dump you into bad things. So we keep saying the knowledge which is added with wisdom, the knowledge you have got another parallel lines, which says with wisdom, without wisdom, with righteousness, without righteousness, For whom you are using? Am I using it for my purpose or for societal purpose? Am I using to improve the society because I've got money now? I've got sufficient money. I know I have money. What am I going to do with this money? Is it to help somebody else or is it to help me? Each knowledge is considered as different branches of knowledge in Indian tradition. Right? Now, all this knowledge I can use in different ways, different places, different region, different occasions. That becomes my experience. Suppose this money I am only putting into bank for getting an interest. Am I learning anything new in my life? I am not learning anything new because the channel is the knowledge is same. Same money goes to bank, get interest. I will add to my bank balance. I am not experiencing. Suppose this money I use it into four different businesses. What do I get? Different experience. So knowledge, when you use it in society in different forms, see, many teachers are there. They keep saying, I have 40 years of teaching experience. What is this 40 years of teaching experience? Same slide, same PowerPoint, same blah blah blah, same joke, same comma, same full stop, same smile everywhere. Correct? Where do you get experience of teaching 40 years? 1 multiplied by 1 multiplied by repetition is multiplication. Addition is only when it is different. So 1 multiplied by 1 40 times will become 1 only. What is experience? Different times, different places, different ways, different styles. That is experience. So knowledge can be converted into experience. And one who gives knowledge is called a guru, teacher. One who share experience is called Acharya. Different words for teachers also. Not same teacher everywhere. Not a same master. Acharya is one who shares experience. Knowledge is only being shared. Most of the teachers are knowledge sharing people. Not even knowledge sharing. They only share information. Much less people are there. They only share data. They don't do analysis. They don't use it for application. They will not speak about application. It's a beautiful subject. You asked a big box which needs to be talked. That is why we have a great saint called Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda told, education, knowledge is man making. How do a born person becomes a citizen? A person is an individual. How an individual becomes a supreme personality? This is the way to make yourself experience. Wonderful question.
Great question. Good question.
Good question. Wonderful question.
Thank you so much, sir. I don't want to be so greedy because if not, I will just be asking questions from now till tomorrow. So can I give opportunity to all our participants to ask questions, please? I don't want to call names because I know you have so many questions in you. So please ask questions. Who is ready to ask questions, please? So that we don't waste much time.
Ma'am, I have question.
Okay.
I have question. Me, Pastor Shahid here.
Welcome. Shahid, welcome.
Yes, sir. Because there are so many new things to learn. So I want to say that how many types of teachers that you were telling us that there are experienced teachers and non-experienced teachers. Non-experienced teachers, they are only, but they have no, but experienced teachers, they can express effectively their teachings.
Yeah, Acharya is supposed to be the topmost, but Acharya cannot teach the whole thing what he has to the listener. Because there is always a thought process in us. Even the best communicator cannot communicate more than 25% to the listener. Got it? And assume our wavelength is same, language is same, phonetics is same, culture is same, words used are same. You are with me for long years. I know Isabel has a problem with understanding my English because my English is bad. Isabel's English is good.
Oh, hello, not like that.
I
have problem with language.
I'll
Indian language.
see,
Not English.
Elizabeth, I keep saying, in India we have different states, speaks different
Okay.
English. So I keep saying, American English is different from British English.
Okay.
In Britain itself, English is different from. I have got a good friend of mine who taught English to British people 35 years in Lincoln, who is from my state, Kerala. He taught in Lincoln University 35 years. When I take him in newspaper and then give him, he will mark all mistakes in our English newspapers. He will say all these newspapers are full wrong things, Because we believe we know. That is not correct. I know my English is not good. My English is good for people who are with my culture. So when I speak, I have got a restriction on communication. And the culture is different. The word which we use is different. I remember in America when I went, I kept saying, you have to remove your chappal when you get into the house. Chappal is not used. Chappal is actually footwear, which commonly used in India. But in America, they don't have chappal, no? They use only footwear. So when I said chappal, some people thought it is chapel. Got it? Because
So it's different.
it's a big confusion, right? So from one state to another state, if I speak English, Prashanti must be thinking, what is English this? Because I am from a different state, Prashanti is from a different state. So I keep saying, I don't speak
Hello?
English, I speak Manglish. And Prashanti speak Tanglish, Telugu mixed English. Her mother tongue is Telugu, my mother tongue is Malayalam. So all of us use. So there is a communication problem. So Acharyas also cannot give every knowledge. So how do people learn? Individually, you have to refer, come back, discuss, learn a bit more. That means you have to do your homework first. After listening, do again another homework. And then, if there are 3-4 people, discuss with them. That is how students in a class. Group discussion, peer group learning, sharing. All this is must. Then you can get a 75% knowledge. Acharya Padamadate, 25% from quarter knowledge from the Acharya. Padam Shishya Somedhaya, self-learning, 25%. Padamsa Brahmacharibhya, with friends, associated people, sit together, discuss, group discussion, debates, presentations, asking counter questions, all that will give you another 25%. That is why 75% is given distinction knowledge. Only distinction. Beyond that you cannot learn. Beyond that learning is your own experience in life. 25% by experience. What a great system of learning you can imagine. So if somebody comes says that no, I have 95% in marks in my examination, I will tell you your teachers are bad. They don't know how to prepare question to test your knowledge. Because students should get only 75%. Beyond that, you are not conducting examination perfectly. So knowledge by age wise, by grade wise, by experience wise, teacher wise, student wise, subject wise also. There is different style of learning, discovery learning. I can give a question in the mathematics and then ask you to discover learning. You yourself will understand from your previous knowledge and identify answers within you. That is called discovery learning. Apprentice type learning. I want to ask somebody to repair a motorbike. I cannot ask him discover. He will remove all the spare part. No, I should not do that. I should tell him if there is a starting problem, only you should remove the pipe first and then see whether air is sucked there or not. So tell him by step. To prepare chai, prepare coffee, I have to give an entrepreneurship training. How do you internship training? How do you do that? I should ask him, this is how you should prepare. Let him not experiment. Then he will spoil the food. right? I have to teach history. I have to talk about stories and then derive a message from that. That's called deductive teaching. There are different methods: inductive, deductive, discovery, different teaching technologies. Based on this subject, based on the teacher, the style changes. I have a book, Adaptive Learning. You can download this and learn all my learning pedagogies and practices. This book is that. Maybe another news for Elizabeth, that I have also authored a book on education. Okay, this is printed by Discovery Publishers in New Delhi, and the book is called Learning and Teaching Principles and Pedagogy for E-Web and Adaptive Learning. Adaptive learning. How do you get adapted to learning in the computers as you are doing in the class without destroying the attention and focus? So here I explains all these different styles of teaching and learning. Yeah. You can download this book on my website. If anybody want, just send a WhatsApp. I'll send you the link if you want. Otherwise, search DrTPS Adaptive Learning. Lot of lectures are also there. Adaptive Learning DrTPS.
Sir, one question, sir.
Yeah.
Like Acharya is the highest teacher, right?
Yeah.
And what is the difference between the prophets and the Acharya?
Who is a prophet? Who is a prophet as you understood? Acharya I have explained now. Now you tell me who is a prophet as you understood. He is a messenger, right? He is not adding any experience by himself. He is only like a dictionary or a textbook or a Google. What is taught him, what is told him, he is only propagating it. He is like a messenger or a marketing person. Prophet is a marketing person, that's it. He doesn't create his own knowledge.
Any question, please? Before our professor round it off, do you have any other question? Hello? I can see you are smiling, Mrs. Isabel. Do you have any
Isabel
question?
could understand. Isabel could understand.
I understand to the conversation and in a pleasure the response to Professor Sashi Kumar. And my question is more and more and more and internal. And in this moment, take the response. Question. In this moment, no.
Sister Elizabeth, I was so glad when my meditation, I don't call it as meditation, but that's how I name it because that's most popular. My meditation class in one of the churches in America, Indiana, was seen by Isabel, and then she had a question. Is it that meditation? It looks different. I don't do the same thing what others are doing. It's entirely different. I want to learn. And that's how Isabel contacted me. It was a real wonder. She came with a question to me first. And then we started, I think we had a lot of dialogue. There is a meditation, Isabel, DrTPS. If you type, you will see a video there. Our discussion is also recorded and put on YouTube.
Right.
Yeah, I'm so glad, somebody looks at my video and then come back to me with questions. That is most important. That's how people learn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very important. Very important.
I saw
aspiration.
Robina coming and disappearing.
Yes. Do you have any questions? Anybody else? No?
So I'm
Okay.
sure Sister Elizabeth is so kind now that we have already crossed 40 minutes.
Good, it's good, it's good, it's good. I mean, because it's better understanding. The way I look at it, sir,
Yeah.
is it's like when I started on this journey of mindset and transformation, my own background first, I didn't start school the way every other people start school, because during my primary school, I keep failing the exam. And then in the part of Africa where I come from, if you are failing like that, they easily give up on you. So the chance of repeating or the chance of going to the school was limited for me, right? So I didn't have that knowledge much before coming to UK. In fact, I have very, very little knowledge before coming to UK. So because I didn't have that opportunity, and even when I came to UK, it wasn't straightforward, because within that period I got married and I have to focus on raising my children. So, but even within that period, even though I didn't have the opportunity of going to the class that time, I make it a point to be studying from home. So I will buy books and read and understand. But sometimes we don't have the opportunity of asking the author questions. Because it's only, so that also is a struggle, because you are reading it from their own ideas, from their own research, you understand, and you really need to get better understanding. Anyway, the reason why I started this knowledge and said that, yes, I wasn't opportune to go to college, I mean, like others. But then, if you ask most of people that went to college, that went to university, or they went to secondary school, or whatever thing, you ask them few questions about what they said they've read. They forgot it. And I'm thinking, if you don't if you spend 4 to 5 years to go to university and study, and you forgot entirely everything you've learned, or maybe they won't put it in that way that they've forgotten, but they will say they have certificates. That is an evidence. But then certificates, we not had, we not impact with other people. Certificates will not put food on your table. Certificate will not really be, it will not be useful in the society, but your knowledge that you understand. So when I now came to this country now, there's a lot of programs for we adults that we can go through, so that even if we don't go to school before, you can still learn. So they taught us, in a way, they call it, what they call it now?
Adult education.
Sorry?
Adult education.
Education.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was also director in one of the universities for adult education.
Okay, so I went there, and then I started learning, and it looks like, with my experience of the business and how I'm doing with my family and how I interact, how I socialize, I now realize that I gain more knowledge, more better understanding than those people that went straight to university. So, and I begin to say, what makes it different? And that is why I say, number one, it depends on how yes, the information is to store in your mind, but how did you get that information? How do you understand it better? Because it is what you understand that you take action on, or you apply. And it is what you apply that will help the society. I mean, like when I used to go for all these business seminars, they used to say, information is cheap or free. Application is costly. So that is why all this
So,
information.
so,
That is why
so now the arrow mark and that data is helping you.
exactly. So, and I didn't want to make it that I'm the only one going through this journey. And that is why I created this platform, so that we learn together, so that we brush up our knowledge. And that is why I said mindset, and that's why I combine mindset and transformation. Because transformation is about making a change. It's about making a difference. But then the state of your mind and what you are doing with your information you get in your mind, either you understand it or not, will be how you are going to demonstrate it. And that is why this platform is all about. So I just thought...
No, I'm also not from a different background. I was thrown out from a school being the worst student.
Yeah.
When I was in grade 8. Grade 8, they have given a transfer certificate and said, get out of the school, you are the worst student.
Yeah.
But then after many years I was called as a chief guest in the same school to distribute certificates. Right? So,
And then another thing as well that happened in my own life of journey, the journey of my life. Another thing is that even though I didn't start school, whatever, something like that, but with the adults, I realized that when we're being taught, some of us has got experience. So when they were now teaching us, we can look back and we can resonate what they are teaching us with what we've experienced.
yeah.
For example, I've been in business, running business, marketing and other things for many years. And then I went back to school at the age of 40-something to go and study business management. And when they gave us the assignment to do, I don't just copy what the lecturer is giving us. I am answering the questions based on my experience and combination of my experience and relating it to what the lecturer is teaching us. And then, to my own surprise, I was really surprised that I passed. I didn't plan to go to degree level. I just went to adult school. But when I did very well, it was the lecturers that were advising me that, gosh, you passed, and you passed very well. Move to the next level. So they were the ones that pushed me. And at the age of 50, I got my first degree. And so that is what I really want to encourage every one of us. Because when we understand whatever we are being taught, either conference or seminars or even in classroom, then we can apply it. Application is the one that will create wealth for you. Application is the one that will make it to be impact in the society and make a change. So
don't tell too many stories and disclose your age again and again. Now we know you crossed the 50. Don't add more stories to add more years.
No, but it's just to encourage that it's not too late to study. It's not too late to learn. Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you so
I
much.
really
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank you.
your teaching.
Blessed.
And I believe we've all learned a lot today.
Thank you.
So let's keep learning. Let's just say thank you and put our hands together for Professor TPS. Thank you so much, sir. We've really learned.